Hey guys, this is a video about my dysphoria. I have not made a video about this in a very long time. And my dysphoria has gotten a hell of a lot better and different since being on testosterone. And I actually have a few apologies to issue in this video due to some things I said before testosterone. My dysphoria has changed so much since getting on testosterone. I don't worry about the same things that I used to, like whether or not my voice is deep enough or it passes, whether or not my hips look too big or my ass looks too big, or if I'm too short or I'm too girly, or if I'm just not acting male enough, etc., etc. None of those are even a concern anymore because testosterone masculinized my body enough to where I don't have to worry about that anymore. I still get a little bit of dysphoria when I have to shave, because I think my face is really I really have a baby face. I have a very bad baby face, and when I shave, it looks even worse. Now that the fucking sun is actually coming up, you can actually see, without me getting like that close to the camera, that I have some facial hair going on, and it really makes me feel better about myself. I think my entire face changes when I don't have facial hair. Now it looks a little bit more. It's a little bit more different in person because you can't see all the scruff that's on the sides and everything, but I can really see a difference, and I do not like the way I look without facial hair, especially clean shaven. Especially, I hate it, and that's one of my biggest sources of dysphoria right now. Is I do not like my clean shaven face because I think it looks much too feminine. But I haven't been misgendered in a very long time, except for the little story that I just shared with you right before this video. So I don't have dysphoria about that anymore. Mostly my dysphoria is in my chest. I hate wearing my binder. I really hate wearing my binder. In my mind, they're not there, but I know that everyone else around me still sees them, and I am reminded every fucking time I want to walk outside of this apartment that they are there, and every time I want to be shirtless that they are there, and it's just, ugh. Because when I'm here in my own room, in my apartment, and alone, they don't exist. I can look in the mirror and I really just see past them. I don't really care. But when I have to go outside, my binder digging into my back, pushing them forward instead of keeping them apart, and looking down and seeing that lump really fucks with me. I have to adjust I don't know how many fucking times when I'm in public, and I hate it. I really fucking hate it because I'm so self-conscious about the way my chest looks in a binder. Even though I know I pass and nobody's looking at me like, oh, what's that weird lump on his chest? Or he must be hiding tits or something like that. Or I know nobody's doing that, but I'm very self-conscious about it. I'm very glad I will be getting top surgery here soon, so I don't ever have to deal with that again. And lower dysphoria. This has gotten a hell of a lot better, and this is where my apologies have to be made. First, I'll explain, then I'll apologize. My lower dysphoria on testosterone has almost completely gone away. I'm so much more comfortable with what I have, not to where I'd want to keep it, not at all like that, but I'm finally in the finally in a point where I've accepted what I have, and I'm going to have it for a very long time, and I'm really sick of limiting myself on the stuff that makes me feel good, just because that shouldn't be there. And I'm a little more open to, I'm a lot more open to receiving stuff sexually than I was before. Before, I haven't had anybody touch me down there since I was 17. And now I'm a lot more comfortable with it. I don't particularly mind, I don't really mind girls touching me down there at all. And it doesn't make me freak out or anything, or make me feel like, oh, they're treating me like a girl, or anything like that. It's just, I'm at a point where I can accept that I don't have a penis yet, and it's going to be a very long time until I do, and I am not going to miss out on the height of my sexual years just because I have a horrible situation that has left me as a man without a penis. So, and that's where my apologies come in, because I'm so much more comfortable with what I have down there. Especially lately, I have not been wearing my Packer 24/7. I have actually almost not been wearing it at all. It used to be where if I didn't have it on, it felt like I was missing something. It felt like I was missing a very, very important part of my body. But lately, it's just been a hassle. The harness is a bitch. I really fucking hate the feel of the harness anymore. I don't mind the Packer so much as I mind the harness. The harness pisses me the fuck off. And it's the most simple, easiest to use harness that I could possibly have. So, that's not really helping very much. So I just haven't been wearing it. I almost never wear it around the house anymore. I used to still put it on whenever I would go out, but the last few times, it's just been such a fucking hassle, and I don't like adjusting it all the fucking time that I don't wear it when I go out. I still I have a little bit of dysphoria about there not being an appropriate bulge right there, because it literally looks like I have nothing, sometimes, when my pants move certain ways, and I don't like that at all. But what I have is almost as big as my Packer. It's a little more hidden than my Packer is. It doesn't create a bulge in my pants. But it's getting there. It's not nearly as thick or as long. It's probably got maybe 1.5 inches to go, long, and I don't know, maybe 2 inches around, before it's as big as a standard extra small Packer. But it doesn't feel required anymore. And because of this, I'd like to apologize for videos that I've made in the past that upset a lot of people, about them who didn't wear their Packers 24/7 and who took it off to sleep or only wore it when they went out. I apologize. I did not realize that I was projecting my current dysphoria onto other people, and I do apologize for that. Like, the concept itself still sort of rings true in my mind, where biomen cannot take off their dick, and it's still the concept still makes sense to me, because biomen cannot take off their dick, but I never realized that what I have can really feel like it's supposed to be there, sort of. Not the actual female bits, but what I have as a dick right now. It actually feels a little bit more appropriate now that it's tripled in size, and actually looks and acts like a dick. So I feel a hell of a lot better about that. It's still nowhere near what I would be happy with for the rest of my life, but I know that it's getting there, it's making progress, and I feel so much better about it. And I really apologize to all of the people that I pissed off with those videos, over a year ago, that I made about guys not being really trans or really men or anything like that, just because they didn't wear their Packers 24/7, or actually almost everything in those videos I take back. I was really just projecting my dysphoria onto other people, and that was wrong. At the time, it rang true for me because I had horrible, horrible dysphoria, and I was incredibly envious of everybody who was on testosterone and getting surgeries, and it was just a very horrible time. Especially when my dysphoria back then was the worst that it has ever been. And it really just doesn't matter now. I still think that certain labels are there for a reason. I really don't think that you can consider yourself trans if you're female in every fucking way. You can be a very feminine trans guy, you can be a gay trans guy, you can be a trans guy who likes to cross-dress as a woman. But if you are 100% comfortable with your tits and your vagina, I still don't particularly think you can consider, or comfortable with your tits and your vagina and your female name and your female identity. People who are comfortable with all of that and then call themselves trans really piss me off. They still piss me off. Now, I know that there are non-op trans people, and that those are not the people that I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who actually still fucking identify as a female, but then call themselves trans. I actually have seen those people before. Those people confuse the fuck out of me. You are not trans if you are completely comfortable in everything that you were born as. I understand non-op trans people because some people cannot get surgery, some people cannot get hormones, some people just are unable to do shit like that. 100% completely unable. They might have medical conditions that prevent them from getting surgery or hormones or something like that. And I understand those people. Those people, I would hate to be one of those people. I really feel for you guys because I could not do that. I just don't think I could live with myself if I had to live a non-op life. But with the people who, it's really more the people who actually think that this is some sort of fucking fad. Those people really piss me off. It's like, oh, you're so far into the queer community and you yourself are not queer enough, so you're going to call yourself trans, or you're going to call yourself some form of gender queer, something like that, even though you have absolutely no gender variance whatsoever. I know quite a few people like that, and it really pisses me off. It's like they're trying to seem cool in the queer community by being more queer than they actually are. And just be happy with what you actually are. Not like, and I'm not talking like, how a lot of people try and tell trans people, well, be happy with the way that you were born, be happy with the way you are, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm talking about real people, or people who actually are not trans or gender variant. It's not, gender variant people and trans people actually feel that the way they're born is not the way they should be. People who pretend to be like that are only doing it for attention, and not because they truly, really feel like they are gender variant of some sort. And I know I am not, I know it's not my place to gender police anyone, but I have came across quite a few people who really are not gender variant in the least, and they claim to be. And it really pisses me off because it really fucks it up for the people who truly are gender variant. And yeah, that still bugs the hell out of me. But I definitely feel for the people who cannot, for any reason, transition, whether it be now or ever. And my heart goes out to you guys. I could not do it. You are much stronger than I am. And I definitely apologize to the people that I gender policed before, saying that you cannot be a man and remove your dick, or let people touch your chest, or fuck you in the vagina, etc., etc. There was a lot of horrible things that I said. I even took down those videos, because of how much hate they were getting, and I don't feel like that anymore. I really feel that, there are different, I really feel that I was projecting my own dysphoria onto you guys, and I deeply apologize for it. Though I do still hold by my definitions of transgender and transsexual. I know that some people do feel the term transsexual is offensive, and that transgender is now the umbrella term. I personally don't like that. My personal definition is a transsexual is somebody who wants a full sex change because they were born in the wrong body. And a transgender person is somebody who does not identify with the gender identity appropriate for their assigned sex at birth, but does not feel that they need a full sex change. That is my personal definition of transsexual and transgender, and that's how the definition has been for a very long time, actually. It's just that recently people want to call transgender people, or people want to call transsexuals transgender, and lump transgender in with everything from transsexual to genderqueer. And I don't think that's right. I personally believe genderqueer should be the umbrella term, and transgender is somebody, well, I just said what transgender should be. But yeah, I would prefer to hang on to those definitions as they were, for my personal use. I still personally identify as a transsexual. I do not view it as a derogatory word at all. I feel it is an appropriate label for what I am. So I still don't particularly, in my definitions of the word, if you don't want or plan on having bottom surgery at all ever, not because you don't like the options, but because you feel that what you have already is fine, and you want to keep what you have already, you are transgender, not a transsexual. Those are my personal definitions. In the current definitions, you would still be transgender, not transsexual, but it would be viewed differently. And I'm not saying that everybody should go by my definition, but those are my personal definitions, and I think that they are there for a reason, because certain transgender people do give transsexuals a bad name, because a lot of people try to tell me what I can and cannot do with my own body, just because there are a lot of other transgender people who do not opt for bottom surgery or stuff like that. A lot of people try to say, oh, well, this person doesn't plan on having a dick, or this person doesn't plan on cutting their tits off, etc., 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 and I'm like, well, I am not that person. This is what I want for me, and it really pisses me off. And then a lot of other people are like, well, you haven't had the surgery yet, so I'm not going to call you by the appropriate pronouns, etc., etc. And I'm like, seriously? It just all is different labels and different etiquettes. If I think you are a transsexual if you want to have the entire sex change, not whether or not you are able to, and not whether or not you have already. As soon as you decide that is right for you, you are a transsexual, and everybody should respect that. And especially respect your identity. And there's still and because of people trying to lump transgender in with everything, a lot of people are getting mixed messages and don't particularly understand what we're trying to get at, which is another reason why I don't like transgender being the umbrella term, and why I will stick to my definitions. So, this video ended up way too fucking long, but those apologies really did need to get out there, and I've been meaning to do a video like this for months. I just haven't been able to get it out right. So, yeah, I apologize to the people that I pissed off over a year ago with my trans rant videos. They have been taken down, and I do not believe most of that anymore. And I hope that I've explained myself better and do not offend anybody this time around. Wolfgang out.